As a magician, I try to create images that make people stop and think. I was buried alive. I lived there with nothing but water. The next one is I froze myself in a block of ice. That one was way more difficult than I had expected, with nothing but water. I didn't realize that it would become the most amazing journey of my life. As a young magician, I was obsessed with Houdini and his underwater. In 1987, I heard of a story about a boy that fell through ice. So I met with a top neurosurgeon, and I asked him, how long is it possible to go without breathing? Like, how long could I go without air? You have a serious risk of hypoxic brain damage. So I realized that was completely not going to work. And I asked him, how could I do that? I want to hold my breath for a really long time. How could it be done? David, you're a magician. A tube from Home Depot with balloons duct taped to it, and somehow I'd be able to circulate the air and rebreathe with this thing in me. This is a little hard to watch, but this is that attempt. There's a chemical that's called perflubron, that in theory you could breathe it, and stuck my face in the sink and tried to breathe that in. Then I started thinking, then I thought about the craziest idea of all the ideas. And then I learned how to purge. Then I learned that you have to take a huge breath.
And you just hold and relax and never let any air out.
And just hold and relax through all the pain. Every morning, and this is for months, I would wake up and the first thing that I would do is I would hold my breath for 44 minutes. I would repeat this process 8 times in a row. I started learning about the world record holder. I'm 6'1" and fat. I started to really adapt my body. I decided that I was going to break the world record live on primetime television. I was completely wrong. This was a critical mistake. They had to pull my body out and bring me back. I had failed on every level. So I would sleep in a hypoxic tent every night. Your brain is completely wiped out. So it was a pretty big success. You're brain dead. There was one person there that was definitely not impressed. My brother had a picture of it. So, luckily Kirk had seen me and he swam over and pulled me up. And there's no way to slow my heart rate down. And while holding my breath, it would drop to 12 beats per minute, which is pretty unusual. This time it started at 120 beats, and it never went down. So I figured I'm better off just fighting and staying there until I black out, at least, and they can pull me out and take care of me and all that. And my lips started to feel really strange. I started feeling pains all over my chest. It was awful. At 14 minutes, I had these awful contractions, like this urge to breathe. My heartbeat would go from 120 to 50 to 150 to 40 to 20. And I started floating to the top. And I didn't take my head out. I was just floating there waiting for my heart to stop. And then suddenly I hear screaming. I was like, what? And that's my life. So, why'd you come out of the water dry? And I think magic, whether I'm holding my breath or shuffling a deck of cards, is pretty simple. It's practice, it's training, and it's